Hi, my name's Tony and I'm from the Sup Company. And today we've stepped outside the shop and we're going to run you through the brand new, simply fantastic Duotone Slick. So here we are with the all new Duotone Slick. And to say, well, these wings have caused a buzz is something of a huge understatement. This is actually Duotone's fourth iteration of their wings. First launched about 2 years ago now, is the first time we saw them at a dealer conference out in Tenerife. That wing, hugely popular, massive attraction, but they knew always that they can go and do better, and they've done that. They've done that not only with their first retake of the wing, the Echo, but then they've introduced the fully inflatable structure wing, the unit, and this, the all-new Slick, is simply the perfect marriage of the two together. They've taken everything they know and have learned about the Echo and the boom system that wing has, and they've tied it into, well, the most fantastic form factor ever. And I'm going to run you through those details now. So, what makes the Slick so special? And, well, to be honest, there's a number of features. And really, it's its overall reduced wingspan and its outline that it now has compared to other wings in the lineup. And it's this very square wingtip arrangement that creates much more surface area, extends the chord length of the wing slightly, but the overall frame is very rectangular in terms of its finish. The leading edge is extremely straight, and that just gives you more canvas, effectively, with which to go and propel yourself and pick up the wind. So one of the features I really like about the Slick is the boom. And Duotone have taken everything they've learned about booms, and they've patented that design on the Echo, and they know what that adds to the overall experience when you are out wingsurfing. But there can be a couple of little drawbacks to that when compared to a fully inflatable wing like you have in the unit from the Duotone lineup. But this is the perfect marriage of the two. It is straight down the middle, and there are some really nice features and kind of an evolution of the boom design as a whole. On the very front here, I think it's my age, but there's a really nice touch, and it's this neoprene cover on the inside. It's just protecting your knuckles when it comes to the seam, but it makes it much more comfortable to use. The boom in hand, oval, that's going to make the boom slightly more rigid than a standard round boom, but it just feels better in the hand as well, particularly when you're trying to orientate the angle of the wing. It just gives you that little bit more control and allows you just to, well, put it where you want it to go. As you work down the boom though, it's a reasonable size still, and I know they call it the mini boom, but there's not that much mini about it. It's nice because it is fixed in terms of length, but it's there. You can use this wing, and this is the big advantage with a boom. You can use this wing and not look where your hands have to go. Loop arrangements on a wingsurfing sail like this, well, you've got to look. You've got to take your eyes off of the direction of travel, off of your feet, off of the sea state, off of where you want to go, and see what your hands are doing. It's really hard to get a feel. On a boom like this, it is simple. You can do it without looking, and it just gives you more confidence, and everything just feels much more intuitive as a result. The other nice thing as well with the wing is really this whole cutaway area now. So you can operate and move your hands freely. You're not going to end up with any chafing on your knuckles, and it just means that everything happens far more naturally. As the boom though follows back, what's really interesting is on this inflatable section of the boom here, well, you can see it pulls basically away, and then it inflates to a much larger area than the rest of the boom. The reason for this is, well, a couple of. One, it provides a lot more rigidity. So it's going to keep the trailing edge of the wing much stiffer. But a key part to it is when the wing is at rest in the water, well, it provides a lot more volume again, but also that becomes buoyancy. So the back of the wing doesn't want to squat down, doesn't want to suck to the water's surface, which when you are launching, or if you're having to start again when you're out in the water, is it just well, it slows you down a little bit, particularly when you get into feet. It can pull at you slightly, whereas this avoids all of that. And it's a really, really nice feature. It just shows just how much detail Duotone put into all of their products. Duotone are all about the details, and weight in this wing, well, it's really light. But Duotone know they can always do better. There's constant belief in terms of development and evolution, and they've crossed that over to the boom. So not only have we got this as an alloy option that's referred to as the Silver Series, but you now have a carbon option. And the carbon option just reduces the overall weight of this package down so much more. The alloy boom, well, that's 580 grams, but if you're going to go for the carbon option, which isn't too much more, particularly when you go and compare it to something like a windsurfing boom, where the difference for a carbon option can be huge, well, you step up for not a lot more money and you go all the way down to 330 grams. So that's almost half the weight. And ultimately, it's going to be a little bit more rigid, a bit less flex, and it's going to help you when you are in pumping phases of the wing and just get you up and foiling that much sooner. So another feature really that's not unique to Duotone products, but it is again on the Slick, is windows. And they can be a little bit of a bone of contention out there in the wingsurfing community, but on the Slick, they are a really, really welcome addition. They've been repositioned compared to the Echo. They've been made slightly larger, and that's in no small part really due to just how straight the leading edge is on all of the Slicks. It does rob a small amount of visibility from where you would normally see it in a swept back wing, but with the windows as big as they are, visibility genuinely isn't a problem on here. If anything, it's probably slightly better than you do get on the Echo. Elsewhere on the canopy, on the trailing edge, we've still got a couple of small little battens. They're just stabilizing that when it's under tension and just stopping the trailing edge from fluttering all over the place. On the nose of the leading edge here, well, it's pretty much an industry standard now, a handle on the front, but Duotone just emphasizing the detail they put into each of their products. There's a really nice neoprene pad on the front there, and it's just stopping the chafe from the seams on the back of your hand, just as you are out there on the water, either about to go and start your session, or you're there flying it in a neutral position. One thing with the neutral position is it was really, really evident just to how much lighter the overall wing is with the mini boom in place when compared to the Duotone Echo. It just it wants to sit much more naturally behind you and follow you in a much more controlled way. The other nice thing I think that adds to that is, well, the Slicks are quite flat. They're not as dihedral as a Echo or the Unit, and it just seems to make them want to follow you in a much more controlled way. That's not to say the Echoes and the Units are uncontrollable, they're not. It just, though, the Slick feels a little bit more stable behind you. Other nice features as you walk around the leading edge on the Slick is, yeah, all the wear patches where Duotone know their product is likely to pick up wear across the seams. But yeah, overall, if you are looking for a wing with which to start your wingsurfing journey, or really, you're out there, you've been winging for a little bit now, you're looking for a wing that is much more performance orientated, going to deliver you more power and more control, well, you have to seriously look at the Duotone Slick and consider it. I think probably the only big challenge you're going to come up against is deciding on sizes. There are 1/2 meter breaks in the entire Duotone Slick lineup, but we're more than happy to help you select the best possible size for you and, well, get you out on the water and flying.